One of the questions that is, sometimes asked in Washington these days, but always on Wall Street is, has the economy started to slow in the latter half of the summer going into the fall? From your perch in Richmond, what do you see?
Well, the economy took a deep dive, as you know, and it did come back quickly when we opened things up. But naturally, you would expect to see that recovery be a little more gradual. Where I see the real challenge now is getting the last 5% of Americans back into the workforce. And that's where I've got my focus.
Well, is that going to happen? What are CEOs, business leaders telling you about their plans to hire and to invest, to spend more money?
Well, there's a lot of uncertainty, starting, of course, with the virus, but also what the demand picture is going to look like next year. And in that context, I do think companies are streamlining, taking the last 5 or 10% and finding those efficiencies. I am starting to hear, though, in the last month or so, some amount of pivoting to tomorrow. And what I mean by that is, okay, we're going to get this behind us. Let's now talk about where we go from here. So I do think they've streamlined, but I'm at least hopeful that as we get into next year, you're going to see them starting to grow again.
Do we see growth, significant growth in the coming year, do you think?
Oh, sure. I mean, first of all, you've got a significant drop. And so we're going to grow out of that significant drop. I think you'll see a very strong third quarter, for example. But even going into next year, I think part of the legacy of rounding over the comps we have from this year is you'll see growth numbers that look strong. I look at more level than growth rates, and so I do think then the question is going to be, what do we look like year over year? And I still think, by the end of the fourth quarter this year, we'll still be down year over year, and it'll be hard to get back to where we were until sometime around the end of next year.